What's up, guys? Episode 2 Tailgate Talk with none other than Dean Wilson. Thanks for joining me.
No worries.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
In between your hot yoga sessions.
That was it. Yep, straight from yoga. Came to check the boys out and yeah, come see you. So keep them busy, you know?
Yeah. So, all right. Supercross ended.
Yep.
For me, I think it's a successful season for you. You finished it, right?
Yeah.
Which is a goal to be able to do. Be able to stay healthy and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to run through kind of your thoughts on how Supercross was for you, what you've been on, or what you've been up to since Supercross has kind of ended.
Yeah.
Besides being a dad.
Yeah. So Supercross, it was definitely a tough year. It was nice to finish all 17 rounds, but I got better towards the end. I really started to find a good setting and what I liked on the Honda. It took me a while though. So. Yeah, the season started off kind of slow, struggled with the bike a little bit. And then I was just struggling, and the class was stacked, of course. So, yeah, and then I was struggling with my arms too. I was, a lot of times when you get arm pump, it's a lot to do with bike setup and stuff like that. And I don't feel like my setup was great, but the Honda was so new to me, just in general, because I've been on an Austrian bike for 6 years.
Yeah.
So to really find a good setting was tough, but yeah, I was getting arm pump, and so when you get arm pump in the main events, it's like you can't push. You literally kind of just have to grab the brakes and chill, because if you really try and push with arm pump, that's when you have a big crash, because you have no strength. So anyways, got better, kept working on the bike, working on myself, and I know the class thinned out a lot at the end, but my actual riding was a lot better, and I was happy with that. And that's, as long as you keep pushing and trying to improve yourself, that's all that matters. And by the end of the season, the 17 rounds, I still was I wasn't at the end of the season where me and Justin Hill were actually in a 8th place
the battle.
Points battle, and me and him were gunning at the end to do better, and we're still very motivated. So it was good. It was a good ending for me, and I liked how that ended for sure.
Well, I think that regardless of where you finish at, for a goal for a lot of people, especially how this year went, to finish healthy is a big deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially how everything has gone with moto too, outdoors.
Yeah.
I mean, that to me is just being able to finish the rounds is huge.
For sure. That's the thing. I've obviously had a lot of injuries throughout my career, so, and I'm at the age, I'm 31 now, so when shit gets a little hairy, or for instance, Nashville this year, it was an early day race. I think our first practice was at 7 a.m. and I did not feel comfortable. I had this weird feeling on that track, I had a feeling I was going to crash.
Yeah.
It was I had this weird gut feeling. I didn't like the track. I felt sketchy. So that day I was I'm just chilling today. I'm not going to take on any unnecessary risks. And that just comes with age, And I just don't want to, I know I'm not that old, but I've just been injured so much that I don't want to go through that anymore. And I mean, it's part of the sport, but when it's same as Cincerello and stuff like that, you tend to be okay with sometimes just backing it down a notch just so you're healthy,
Yeah, but I mean, I think if you look at a lot of people when they win, it's because they're there in the end, right? I mean, that's what you kind of have to be, especially today.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look at Tomac. I mean, he wasn't there in the end. We all thought he had it wrapped up, and that was the craziest, weirdest thing that happened, and boom, Chase got the title. It's insane.
Just because he was there consistently. That's how Dungey won so many of his championships too.
Yeah.
Just consistent. He was like a diesel motor.
Oh yeah.
But okay, so you turn the page on Supercross, and then you kind of go into the off season. You're confirmed going to World Supercross, which I think is going to be awesome.
Yep.
But before we get to World Supercross, you got a baby, right?
Yep.
Dad life. Off season for a little bit, right? I mean, because you're not really doing too much.
Yeah, 3-4 weeks.
And which is, I think, kind of important, because usually if you're going in outdoors right now, you'd be racing.
Yeah.
You'd be already doing all the practice stuff.
Oh yeah.
So it's got to be fun to be able to kind of enjoy the time with your kid and time with your family, with your wife, friends, all that stuff.
No,
right?
it is. It's nice. I'm enjoying it. It's really nice. I just feel so much better physically and mentally. Usually by this time, my knee would be so achy and so sore because it just kept taking a penalty and never got a chance to rest. And my knee's been through a lot. So I am I haven't felt so excited and fired up to race in a long time like I am now. Like, I can't wait to race World Supercross. Like, my body feels good. Internally I feel good. So
mentally
feel good. Like, it's just like, so it's good. Just like 17 weekends in a row, pretty much. 1 weekend off. Dude, that's gnarly. And then, you know, jumping right in outdoors. It's a big schedule, so I've been doing that for a lot of years. So it's just nice to take a breath for a minute, you know.
So I asked Plessinger this. Before, where I asked him, I'm like, okay, you get to the end of like 17 rounds. So when you were racing outdoors and you got to that point where you were done with Supercross, and do you immediately go like, oh crap, I wish I could race like a little bit more Supercross, or do you go, let's turn and let's go to outdoors? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, so usually like the last 4 or 5 races, you barely even ride Supercross except for the weekends. You just focus on outdoors. And don't get me wrong, I love outdoors. Like, see, when you're on outdoors, there's nothing like it. It's like an art and poetry in motion. Like, the way you like lighten the bike to go over the bumps, and then you jump bumps, and the way you, like, there's just like something about outdoors that when you're on, it is the sickest feeling ever. I haven't had that feeling in a long time. But I used to have it, but the thing that made it so miserable for me was just my knee was so buckled by the end of Supercross after all those races, and then straight into outdoors, which was even harder on my knee because, like, I can keep my feet on the pegs most of the time, but there's still places where like you absolutely have to take your feet off the pegs and lean the bike, and I can't lean the bike to my left because if my heel touches the ground, I have no meniscus and it's just bone on bone. So Supercross, I can keep my feet on the pegs a lot, which is good. And so yeah.
But with outdoors, how hairy it is sometimes.
Exactly, and you're at such a high speed and you dab your leg, like my knee, it just was torture on my knee. And I did it for so many years and kind of kept it quiet because I was factory husky and I didn't want them to not rehire me.
Yeah.
So I've been suffering a lot through the years, but I just try to keep pushing. Yeah, and then now I've got Supercross only, which just gives me time to like my body to heal a little bit. And fuck, I feel awesome right now. Like I really do feel good.
Good. That's what you want to do. All right, cool. So we're turning the page on that one too. Now you look ahead. I think the first round in World Supercross is Australia, right? Is it Australia?
First round is in the UK.
Or
Birmingham.
UK. Okay, so it's good. I mean, like, you'd be able to go over there. And when you leave for that?
So I leave, I get there the Wednesday before the race. I kind of don't even know what the exact date is, but I get there
sometime.
Yeah, right before July 1st, because the race is July 1st. So I'm gonna go over there, and that's what's so cool about these World Supercross rounds is like, see where I'm at in my career? It is absolutely perfect. It's only 6 rounds.
Yep. Yeah.
They're very spread out. So it goes first round, 2 weeks off, second round, and then 7 weeks off.
Yeah.
So I'm focused on these first 2 rounds, doing the first round, going back to my home in Scotland.
Yep.
I still have a house there. Me, Sarah, and Ewan are gonna go back, and then spend a week there, go to Ireland for the weekend, check out Dublin, never been, check it out, and then do a couple of riding schools while I'm out there, and then come back. Get a week and a half in before the second round, which is in France. Do that, and then we got time off again.
When was the last time you went home?
2018, I believe.
Oh, so it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while because usually I try to go each year, and then I didn't go 2019 and 2020 I wanted to go, but then COVID, so I just never got a chance to go.
Has Sarah been there?
Yep, Sarah's been plenty of times, and she loves it. It's very different. It's a different way of living compared to here. But
well, how old were you when you moved? You moved to Canada.
Yep, I moved to Canada in 1999.
Yeah, so
I was like 9 years old, maybe 8. And so lived there, and then in the winters it got so cold in Canada we came here, and we used to stay in Elsinore, and we first came for a couple of weeks to ride, and then I progressed, each following year, and it's got longer and longer. Then we made the move when I got a Team Green ride. Dave Gowland was a massive part of like me getting to where I am now. He was the beginning steps. He really directed me pointed me in the right direction. And he was the Team Green guy. He hired me at Team Green and kept me along. And then I went up another step to Extreme Team Green, which was like the top tier for amateurs
that you could get.
And then from there, I had an awesome year. And my last year A class, like I knew like it wasn't like it is now back then. Like kids weren't signed with teams 2 years before even being a pro.
Yeah.
So I think it was good because it made like I was hungry. Like it was out.
You didn't know where you were going.
Right. And my goal was just to be on Mitch's team.
Yeah.
And Dave really helped with Mitch, and I dominated that year, and he really just pointed me in the right direction and helped me. And Dave, we got on PC, and that was it. You know, that was like all right, now it's up to you. And then
you go now.
Had some awesome years, so it was awesome. Like, it's been a good run, and it's been challenging, but I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look back on your career, I think you have a ton of highs.
Yeah.
Obviously, a couple championships, right? You have 2?
No, just one.
Just one?
I wish I had.
I thought you had. Why did I think you had a Supercross one and an outdoor one?
No, I know. The Supercross one was the one that got away. Like, my rookie year, 2010.
That's right. I
got stuck in Canada.
Yes, that is
right. So whatever. 2011, second. 2012, second. 2013, I was leading it. And I was battling for the title, got hurt, collapsed my lung. 2014, battling for the title. I DNF'd the race, whatever. Yeah. So then after that, I was like, man, I've been so close every time. Yeah. I'm gonna let the dream go. Like, I could have been one of those guys that chased that 250 title for the rest of my career, but I said, let that one go. And then I got hired by Factory KTM. Yep. And then that was like, when I was on 250, it was shoulders.
Yeah.
When I got on 450, it was knees. Like, it was like a knee every year. It was terrible.
Yeah, because of how you're riding the bike and how much more powerful it is and where you're riding it, I think is like a big deal. And then all of a sudden it's kind of how fate works, you know, like, and how you're kind of put into positions sometimes. Yeah. But I think I'm a big believer in how everything happens is for a reason.
Right,
as shitty as it is.
In the place we are now, you know, like, I think, like, it's made me a better person for sure. And it's just like, it's been like, I've been a couple times in my career where my back's against the wall, and it's either like I didn't have a ride, like it was either bet on yourself. Yep. And like I did it out the back of a Sprinter van twice. And got back on a factory team.
I think one of my favorite moments of you riding was on Reed's team.
Yeah.
Like when you were riding that, I mean, it was just like more of like, hey, and then you started producing.
Yeah.
Like
I beat Bubba, and it was it was Bubba's last year that he was really good. He was really good that year. That was the year he went from like last to first at Toronto. And I was filling in for Chad that got hurt, and I just gelled so well with that bike. Yeah. And I felt so good, and that. I think I did 3 or 4 races, and I qualified fastest at Daytona, won the heat race, and that actually is what got me signed to Factory KTM. Yep.
Yeah, you prove it's like the prove it ride. You did it on that, and it's like, hey, what can you do with us?
Exactly.
Kind of a thing. No, I get that. So, all right. So you have, I think probably the other favorite moment. I don't think I could talk to you without talking about this. Is that dragon back jump that you did over here? Yeah. That I was here for that race. Yeah. And I was just watching from the sidelines, and I like all of a sudden I saw it out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, no way, he just did that. Mm-hmm. And then I remember like when you see a jump like that, or like it's kind of like how you're talking about with Bubba, with James. Yeah. He would look at stuff and be like, hey, I think I could jump this. Yeah. Was it something like, I'm kind of bouncing around, I apologize, but I'm trying to get more into like the rider, because I'm a rider mindset of like, do you see it in practice and you're like, I can do that? And then you like uncork it? Yeah,
you just like, at that time, my confidence level was so high, and see when your confidence was like that high, it sometimes will bite you, but you feel like you can do anything almost. Yeah. And it was always cool to try and spot something out where, for one, it would be faster, and two, it would be sick, right? Yeah. And that was just something I eyed it up on press day, and I was like, I remember at press day, I was going through those rollers, and then like I would hit the last one sometimes, and like, I was like, I think I can do that. Yeah, it's possible. And I came off the track, went around, did a couple run-ups, and then one lap I was like, I already had won the title. Yeah. So I went, and I did it on press day, and I was like, yes, I got it. So then it's like I just had this vision. I wanted a whole shot lead and bust it first lap, and I did it every lap. Yeah. And I did. It was like, it's just such a confidence thing, though. It's like, I just miss those days where I felt so confident, where like, I don't know, it's the same as Bubba, like doing the wall jump at Daytona and stuff. Like, I used to always do stuff like that, and I still have it here and there, but that one was just like pretty sick, like, because Paula National back then, that was when it was first here, and it was packed. It was like the old Glen Helen National.
Yeah, where you look around, it was just like an ocean of people, which is pretty cool to be able to do that in front of people.
Yeah, so it was cool, but it was just a confidence thing. It was like, you want to like excite the crowd, and I actually, the weird story about that is I broke my wrist on that during qualifying in the morning, I broke my scaphoid. I didn't know it. I came through and I was on a qualifying lap.
Yeah.
And I went to do it, but I didn't get the top part before it clean. So I scrubbed at the top. I had so much speed, and I landed in the pocket, and I cased it.
Just went hard.
Yeah, I didn't crash. And after practice, I was like, I sprained my wrist. Raced that day, my wrist hurt all day. And then I won. So I was like, I must be all right.
Yeah.
A couple days later, me, Mitch, my family, we fly to France for Des Nations at Ernie. And we go to some practice track to ride. And I can't ride. I come off of the track in tears. Like, I just went from like the biggest high to like, I'm like, I can't race. I mean, the team's like relying on me, and something's wrong with my wrist. Yeah. So I got those Toradol shots that you get in the butt.
Toradol, yeah.
And I raced, they taped it up, and dude, it was the most miserable weekend of my career. But I had to do it. We ended up 4th overall that year, which wasn't bad for Team GB, but like, if my wrist wasn't, well, I didn't know my wrist was broken yet,
at that point. Yeah, you just thought it was really hurt.
Yeah, so after the races, I'm like, dude, I'm going to get an x-ray. Like, and see, when I found out that thing was broken, I was so happy.
That something was wrong?
Yes, because I was whinging and moaning about it all weekend in France.
Yeah, people would be like, what's wrong?
I had a cast on and everything. It felt so good just because I was like, thank God, because it hurt.
Yeah. I think what you were saying about earlier about the fan stuff, like trying to do stuff for the fans, I think what this sport lacks are people, kind of what you do, of how you know that you have a presence of yourself and you have like a personality. You know, I'm not saying other people don't have personalities, but they just don't show it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think you do a really good job at showing your personality. I think that's why so many people follow you and like and follow along the journey and are fans of you.
Right.
I don't know how to get more of that from riders or how to get that out from certain people, because I think some people they're just not going to, right?
Right.
You're gonna have
I just
people.
think a lot of, like, for me, I'm so open because I don't care what people think about me. Like, I'm not worried about someone's opinion or like, that's why I do half the shit I do. Like, I went on and talked about how my panic attacks and how gnarly they were, and like,
I'm proud of you for doing that.
And it's like, I know, but for me, that's talking about it, like, I'm mentally fine. Like, I'm totally fine. But it's just like, when that stuff started happening, like, it's gnarly, and I just like want to talk about it, and other people that struggle with it, like, hey, like, you're not the only one type of thing. But I don't care like what people have to say about me, and I just think a lot of racers are scared about other people's opinions, so that's why they're not so open, which is totally fine. Not everyone's the same. But
I think it will help. It helps grow the sport. I mean,
no, it does, and that's why I think like UFC's cool. Like, we don't have to be like, oh, you know, like be characters, but like.
You gonna see McGregor in Ireland or what?
I'm actually gonna go to the Black Forge.
Are you?
Yeah,
that's rad.
And his trainer said we can go to his gym and stuff.
Oh, that's so
Coach
awesome.
Kavanaugh. So that should be cool. But anyways, back to where I was is. Where was I? I was just
about talking about people doing kind of what they want with like their personality and being outspoken.
So that's the thing, though, is that our sport is so corporate.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of the riders aren't so open. Like, I know exactly how it is because I've been on a factory team for most of my life, and when you post and kind of do shit that doesn't, you may be working your ass off and doing everything you're supposed to do, but you post something funny, but your results suck.
Yeah.
They're like, this guy's a clown.
Yeah. Because all you care about is getting this. Yeah.
They're paying you for results, right? And it's like, it's gnarly. Like, it's
it's hard. It's not easy to navigate both worlds. Yeah. But the only thing is it's going to help you in the long run. I mean, it helps your.
Well, look at Deegan, right?
Dude.
Like,
I mean,
he's got the biggest following.
Yeah.
He's putting in the results. He's putting in the work. He's got his YouTube channel, his Instagram, his merch. He's got all of that. Like, that as a brand, like, he's going to be, after racing, he's going to be good. Yeah. If he keeps doing it.
Yeah. And having the racing and having everything that's kind of plus on it is going to be even better. Yeah. You know. Yeah. So I think that's what the sport needs a little bit more of, and I think that's one of the.
It'd be sick if we had like 7 Deegans.
Yes.
Where I'll have 1.5 million. Like, we have Kenny, which has a lot of followers and stuff.
Yeah.
But like the young, like, I know like the YouTube stuff, like I wish that all that stuff wasn't around because it's just a lot of work.
It is a lot. Like, trust me, I know. I'm doing this show and I'm setting this thing up all by myself.
Yeah. And then you got to edit and all that. Like I know like Deegan's got editors, but you can get to that point. Yeah. But it would be sick if we had like 8 of those kids where like that would expand our sport so much.
But I think you helped with that whole world, right?
Yeah.
I think Twitch was a big deal of being able to like kind of understand social media and doing like other than just the competitions and stuff like that. And I think Deegan, having him do what he's doing, I think is really good, and it just continues to grow the sport.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think it's really good. So I mean, that's my point with all that is like, I'm proud of you for doing that kind of stuff because I think the sport lacks it. Yeah. And I think it's just something that we need more of, and that's like why a lot of people are your fan, you know?
Right.
All right, so dad life. Yeah. How awesome is it?
Oh, I'm loving it. It's good. It's like it gets better it gets better with time.
How old?
He's 7 months.
7 months, yeah.
So no, I'm really enjoying it. Sarah's obviously a really good mom, and it's just awesome. Like watching his facial expressions, and just being a dad is like I never thought I could love something that much. Like I love just holding him and like cuddling him. Like it's
like a feeling you can't explain until you go through it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those things where you blink and then now like my boy, he's 7 and he's riding and you're
insane.
Like, whoa, you know, and you're like, okay, that happened really quick.
Yeah, exactly.
And so enjoy it. Yeah. Because these moments, especially when they're super young, it is hard and it's the hardest, most rewarding thing you'll ever do. But it's got to be probably the coolest feeling, especially like, because are you going to be able to take him to most of the Super Bowl?
Yeah, we got his passport, which is funny.
Oh, yeah, the baby.
Baby picture.
And you hold him? Did you hold him? Did you have to do that?
Oh, yeah.
Where you're holding him behind the sheet? Yeah, that always makes me laugh.
Nah, it was cool. So yeah, I enjoy them coming. So they're going to come to the first round and
Is your dad going?
Fun. No, it sucks. I wish my mom and dad are so bummed they can't go. My dad's going through chemo and stuff right now. Yeah. And it sucks because like all my family's going to the first round. Yeah. But he's got to go through that. So
your dad's hilarious. Dude, one of the funniest, when he would come into PC years ago. Yeah. And I would come out to go to the counter to like talk to him just because of how much he made me laugh.
Yeah, he said a lot of shit talking, and obviously he's my dad, so he's an asshole most of the time. But no, he's good. He's good. He's fighting through his prostate cancer and leukemia and shit. Yeah. And which is tough, but you know we're doing the right things to try and get through it. So.
Is he out here? Is he in
Florida?
Florida.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He misses Korea. That was his Korea Wednesdays. Was his.
Dude, he was always there.
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah, he was always there on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
All right. So World Supercross coming up. Yeah. What are you looking forward to the most, other than just starting to get back to racing, I guess, because like you start missing it. Yeah. You know, but you have these rounds coming up. Yeah. You know, like obviously the first round you got to be looking forward to pretty much. Yeah. But it's got to be something that is going to be exciting for you and another experience because it's your second season doing it.
Yeah. You know? I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to it. I want to battle up front. You know, and I'm looking forward to see how my arms are. I've gotten my arms done for arm pump once before, and it went really good. It doesn't last that long, but so I went and got it done once more because I just want to race and not have to worry about pumping up.
When you can't control.
Oh, it's the worst. So it'd be cool to race. Arms feeling good. I'm feeling good. Bike's good. In a good place mentally, and like I said, I'm just really like in a good place where like I'm excited for it. I haven't had excitement. I've always been so burnt out, like because I'm always on the go. Like I haven't had a rest like this, so I'm feeling like rejuvenated,
relax and like reset, kind of a thing. Yeah. Do you think it's going to be kind of an advantage for you? One, you've done it before, and then two is you've lived overseas in Europe and stuff like that, so it's not as big. I know a lot of people, they kind of go through culture shock. Like Lieb, I know Michael Lieb really well, and he told me one of his biggest struggles is he struggled with the culture shock of going over there.
Oh, it's a lot different.
I think that's an advantage for you. Yeah. You know, maybe not in the UK as much, but you start going to some of these different places.
It's a big change. It's a big change. Like, it's so funny. I would love to bring my friends over. Yeah. And when we land on the plane, tell them to get in the rental car and drive us to the...
And figure it out.
Oh, they would lose it. They would literally get in a car crash because the car, the driving wheel is on the other side. Yep. We're driving on the other side of the road. Yeah. It's stick shift, and none of you Americans know how to drive stick shift.
Not many. Yeah.
And then you got all the roundabouts, but yeah, it's, dude,
It's
see when I'm
completely
driving
different.
there, like I can drive there no problem, like stick shift, everything. Yeah. But see, when I come back here,
Hard.
I catch myself driving on the wrong side of the road. I'm like,
no shit.
a lot. It takes me like a month to like, I go to turn, I'm like, oh, I'll always just remember the lane's always on your inside.
Yeah. And then I know it's like, I think left-hand turns or something like that, or right-hand turns are super awkward there or something. I can't remember
because
what it is.
you're on, the steering wheel is on
your left.
you're
on your right.
side.
On your right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you're on the other side of the road. So the yellow line's always on your side, right?
Yeah.
That's what I always try to remember. But dude, so we landed in London last year. It's me, my mom, and dad, and we get in the rental car, and I'm driving it, and my fucking heart was pumping.
Oh, yeah.
The first like 40 minutes, because like I pull out and everything's real tight, and I haven't drove a stick in like a year.
Is it a super small car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then everyone's just like knows where they're going and stuff, and I'm like, oh,
I don't know what I'm doing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. You all of a sudden become Ricky Bobby.
You'll
like
be
after he doesn't know how to drive.
like third gear, and then like you'll go to like, I don't know, you'll go to, and then you'll go back in a second.
Oh,
like,
yeah, 'cause it's opposite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
All right. Well, I think, you know, other than just good luck out there, I think it would be a good season for you. You know, especially doing out in all the different countries. You'll be able to visit home.
Yep.
Are you going to come home when you have that long break? You're going to come back to the States? Or are you going to stay out there?
Yes.
Yeah. So you get to come back home, do that.
Be back.
And then be able to kind of wrap it up.
Yep.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for sitting with me. I appreciate it.
Yep, no
Be
problem.
careful with those arms.
I know.
You got robot
We'll
arms.
see. Popeye arms.
Yeah.
No, it'll be good. Scars are pretty small.
It's
kind of like weird, like they're very jelly now, where usually they're like blocks. So.
Oh yeah. So it's a lot looser.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you.